Okay.
And we're live.
Yes, we are live. Just for the recording, we are Daniel and Anna. Will be facilitating the session today. So this is Kuneco. Kuneco is the Celo community town hall. The main focus of this call is to advance conversations that are meaningful to the Celo community, to the Celo ecosystem. So our intention is to gather the most pressing issues, hopefully the most interesting issues from the community, and hold a space for a positive and respectful conversation. This call is not the governance call, as this call is not a requirement for governance process. Instead, Kuneco, as many of you know, if you have attended previous Kuneco versions, we always start saying this. Kuneco means togetherness in Esperanto. So this is a space. This space is an opportunity for us as a community to come together and have an open dialogue about the direction we are taking as a whole. So a few things you can expect from this call moving forward. We will have lots of conversations about current governance proposals, like the one we are having today. We will chat about key technical infrastructure updates, and we'll create a space for discussions about them. And then we will facilitate a dialogue about community issues and other community matters. Anyone is invited to propose agenda topics, and you can do so in a forum post we have facilitated for you. I don't know if you will beat me to this, but I have the link here in case someone needs it. So you are welcome to propose agenda items. And finally, the recording of this call will be posted on the Celo YouTube channel, and we'll be taking notes today. Those are also going to be posted below the forum post that had the invitation for this call today. So before I pass it to Anna, I just want to talk about a few rules of engagement. Please keep your microphone muted until you are ready to talk. And then please raise your hand. You should see a hand button in your screen. Use that to let us know you want to talk, and we will facilitate the session, so we'll let you know when it is your turn to talk. So with that, Anna, please take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome everyone. It's so great to see everyone's faces in this Kuneco. Really excited to be experimenting with this new format for the first time with Kuneco Town Hall. So today, from what you can expect, we will kick off with a state of the ecosystem update from Renee, and then we'll move straight into the main topic of today's call, which is the decentralization of local ecosystem building and creation of regional DAOs. There's been a lot of conversation over on the forum, and we want to use this opportunity to advance those conversations, gather more feedback, and also socialize the proposals with the community, which is super important for them to move forward. And then each team will have about 5 minutes or so to present, and the teams are the LATAM DAO, the Africa DAO, and then the India DAO proposals. And then we'll save about 20 minutes or so for Q&A and discussion, so that everyone has a chance to ask their questions or just propose other updates or improvements to the proposal and have a discussion. And then we'll close off with some closing remarks and next steps. And then also, again, remind everyone that there is a now open agenda suggestion post, so everyone can comment and propose what they want to see from Kuneco moving forward. And then without further ado, I'll pass it over to Renee to give us a state of the ecosystem update.
All right. Wow. I love the new format. Love seeing everyone's faces. I'm surprised so many folks are here after what has been a crazy week. I think I'm going to be sleeping all weekend. But no, it's really good to see everyone. You know, I read a headline today that on November 15 is when the UN predicts kind of statistically the world will have 8 billion people living on it. And, you know, that was, to me, you know, we've been always using this number of how many smartphones out there, but was kind of like a nice reminder of our mission and thinking about, where are those people and what are we doing to better reach them, to support building community, particularly in the global south, particularly outside the hubs that already have all the capital, all the talent, working in their favor. And so today's topic is really timely because I think it can be a big step forward to bring even more support into local ecosystems. As for the state of the ecosystem, look, it's a bear market, there's no denying, and we've had sort of a few pretty severe crises around sort of, I would call it, single points of failure, which at the end of the day all really, make the pitch for what we're all building stronger, which is decentralized finance. The sort of the issues that kind of arose are ones that are really well familiar to us from traditional finance, and it's a little bit sucky, so to say, that people look at this and say, "Oh, crypto! Look what's happening in crypto." Well, actually, no. This is really not a failure of crypto, of Web3, but a failure of traditional institutions, traditional finance, applied to this exciting new vertical and technology. So what I've noticed though this week really is that just checking in also with some of the folks that are newer in Web3, some of the bigger corporate partners, they're starting to understand that nuance, and I think that's a big difference to kind of the last cycle. And I think enough folks at this point see that this technology can really be a game changer, can really help us shift sort of how the financial system works, and so that's pretty exciting. I think one thing that's been top of mind in this current market environment, with token prices being where they are, is fundraising, making sure projects in the ecosystem have enough runway. So we've seen quite a few projects go out and raise funding. I think as an ecosystem, we probably had one of the most activities in Q3. It was cumulatively just about $80 million raised for the ecosystem. There are more teams raising right now, and so I expect additional funding rounds being announced. And yeah, it's really good. I think investors are realizing too that a lot of the entrepreneurs in the Celo ecosystem are focused on real-world impact, real-world use cases, and those may be starting to grow slower at first, right, and may take longer to come to fruition. But they're also much more detached from some of the hype cycles we've seen. And I think this is probably clear to many folks here who've been entrepreneurs or who've been in the trenches. The sort of so-called overnight success doesn't really happen, right? That's something that maybe from the outside, when you just read the headlines, you sometimes are made to believe, but the success comes from doing the work, going out there, meeting users, iterating on products, and I'm really excited and fired up because that's what this community is doing right now, and I see a lot of great progress on products. With that, just again want to welcome everyone. It's great to be here. It's amazing to see so many people tune in on a Friday evening. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in and look forward to seeing you all in future calls as well.
Thank you, Rene. Suleiman, I know you have your hand raised, but we will let the three proposers of the current DAO proposals on the forum speak first, and then we will have a whole block of time for questions. So please save your question for later. With that, Anna, I'm not sure if we want perhaps to invite Aliu to talk about the Africa DAO proposal. I know Mila had a last-minute issue. So let me know if you know who's going to be replacing Mila. Yeah.
Let's start with Africa DAO, and then we can move into LATAM and India. So Aliu, the floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you very much, Anna and Daniel. Hi, everyone. My name is Aliu. I lead the Africa ecosystem lead at the Celo Foundation. So we decided to put up a proposal for a Celo Africa DAO because of the fact that we wanted to have more of community inclusive in our programs and activities. So together with some of my colleagues here, I have Chuta from Nigeria who is part of this. I have Noah who is also part of this. I have Khadija as well who is also part of this. There, I'll give them just a few seconds for them to introduce themselves. Chuta.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's I'm so excited to be in this call today and to be a part of what Celo is doing across the world, and also to put in my own participation and contribute to develop Celo's ecosystem across Africa. I'm founder and coordinator of Blockchain Nigeria Group, been into the blockchain space since 2017. I've been driving crypto adoption, engaging with regulators and policymakers across all circles within Nigeria and Africa generally. So thanks everyone. And Aliu, thumbs up to you for what you're doing so far.
Thank you. Noah, please, can you go forward?
Hi everyone. I'm glad to be here. My name is Noah Balesambu. I lead the technology team at Crypto Savannah, one of the first African companies to join the alliance. So I've been a partner, a friend of Celo since 2019. Shout outs to Sochi and to Anka. I'm glad to be here, glad to accelerate Web3 in Africa. We're currently focused on bringing value to real world problems using Web3, and glad to play any role in accelerating that on the continent. Thank you so much.
Yes, and the family among us, Khadija, are you here? I'm not sure. Okay, looks like she's not here. Okay, yeah, so we'll just go through this proposal. Actually, we have a revised proposal, and this one we have not really posted it on the forum, but we are just going to run through it within few minutes so that we don't take much of the time. So we reduce our focus area from 7 to 3, and of course we try as much as possible to make sure that we reduce the funding ask as well. So main reason why we decided to bring up an Africa DAO, like I mentioned earlier, is that we wanted to make sure that we drive more inclusive participation across Africa. We want to make sure that the community are more involved in whatever decision we are making for the growth of Celo ecosystem across the continent. And for that reason, we have decided to look into 3 different focus areas. And the first focus area is to attract emerging Web3 talent locally by focusing on local incubation programs for developers, and of course to run through different developer relations programs and developer supports. So we have key deliverables and success criteria for that, and we have decided to look at having up to 2 developer incubation program for the whole of the 2023 with this DAO, and we're looking at having up to 100 participants for each of these incubation program, with up to 30 finalists for them. Right now, we are currently running the Africa Web3 Fund workshop across different countries in Africa in collaboration with many top VCs in Africa and outside of Africa. And we feel like with this initiative that we are already running, we have a lot of VCs within our network that we could always leverage on to get opportunity for all of these projects that are going to be building with the incubation through the incubation program. So we also want to run different developer programs like technical workshops, technical articles, and of course using the existing opportunities and some of the resources that we already have existing on the Celo ecosystem, like the Celo Composer, Celo Sage, and every other resources that are going to be coming as we move forward. Due to the time, I may not be able to run through everything, but that is why I decided to project it. Yeah. So in terms of the funding for this particular focus area, we have done a costs analysis breakdown of how we are going to be spending what we have asked for. We asked for a total of $159,900 USD for the 2 incubation program, and this 2 incubation program is going to be running in 2 quarters. So we plan to run one in Q2 of 2023, and then the second one in Q4, or perhaps we can decide to change that. Depends on the availability and some of the resources that we are looking at. And of course, we have the cost analysis of that breakdown here in the table as well. Due to time, I may not be able to like go through each of them one. Then for the developer relations program that we are willing to do, we plan to like use junior developers network across Africa, because we understand that there are some countries in Africa that we currently don't have active participation of the Celo ecosystem. And so for that reason, we decided to like use junior developers network across some of these markets for us. And we also understand that some of these countries in Africa really doesn't have very good crypto ecosystem in terms of being crypto friendly, especially in the northern part of Africa. But there are a lot of technical talent that can build different blockchain solution that doesn't really have to do with crypto. So for this reason, we are likely going to be using this developers network to catch up with that kind of market. Yeah, so we also have the technical ambassadors. Currently, we currently have technical ambassadors existing within Africa that are doing different programs with our developer relations team, and we plan to continue doing this with them, and of course bringing them into the DAO so that we have more community inclusiveness and community participation in everything we are doing. Yeah, so for the focus area 1, the summary of it is that we want to have local developer incubation program and developers relations, and we have a budget of 339K for all of this, and we have a breakdown of all of the cost analysis here and some of the key deliverables that we are looking at getting for this focus area. Then this brings us to the second focus area, which is community. Of course, we understand that community is key. I come from a community background, and we understand that without community, we are probably not going to get the right thing, right? So we really want to do a lot of community outreach, a lot of community events across different markets, especially in some of the key markets that we are focusing on: Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, and so, of course, some other markets that I mentioned earlier that we are going to be utilizing the Junior Developers Network for. So we have different deliverables that we are looking at on that, and of course, some of the success criteria we have designed for that are on the screen here. We are looking at having as many as 150 participants per month through different community education programs that we are going to be running. And of course, we have tested the university program in some of the three key markets that we are currently focusing on in Africa: Nigeria, Kenya, and Uganda. And we have realized that university events are really great one, especially to find technical talents. So through university events that we are currently running, we have been able to get a lot of technical talents that are really doing a lot of things. And some of them are currently participating in the ongoing bid with Celo Hackathon. And so for this reason, we plan to continue with these 3 countries, while we'll use the junior developers network to activate other countries as time goes on. So we have a cost analysis of this as well. For community education, we are looking at having up to 72K. We do the cost analysis of everything we'll be needing, including food, venue, swag, and of course, everything we have here is something we are already doing, something that we have experience doing. We have been running different community events since last year. We have been running different university events since April, and of course, we actually bring out this data and cost analysis due to some of the experiences and some of the costs that we have, average costs that we have actually, spent so far in some of these events. Also for university programs, we are looking at 3 countries, like I mentioned earlier. These are the countries that we have tested, and we realize that it's really working well. And because we don't want to stretch this budget very large, so we decided to still focus on those 3 countries, and we are looking at having 36K for the whole of the year. And every budget we have here is for the whole of for 12 months. So it's like 12 months run rate for these whole activities. And also for ambassadors and community and university. So we understand that we need to get more ambassadors focusing on community and universities for us. And for that reason, we are looking at having up to 8 ambassadors doing this, 5 ambassadors focusing on community, and 3 ambassadors focusing on universities, right? So, and this is what we plan to be paying them: 1,000 USD monthly, 3,000 per quarter, and of course, we are going to be having up to 24,000 for all of these 8 ambassadors for each quarter. So we plan to get up to 96,000 USD for that, and that takes us to the summary of the focus area 2. So deliverables and expectation. Just like I've mentioned earlier, we are going to be running different community meetups across the countries, one monthly, and these are some of the things we are looking at getting from this. And one of the things we are also focusing on is to have more women participation. Of course, one of our multi-stakeholder, Khadija, which is currently not here. I'm not sure if she's here already. Is a female, and we feel like we need a lot of we need more of community inclusiveness, and this is the reason why we decided we are going to focus more on having more women participating in some of our programs as well, even including the incubation program.
Aliu, just a quick time check. We need to also give the other two proposals time to talk. Yeah.
All right. I think for that, I just go to the last one, which is the focus area. I'll just go to the summary. So the summary for the focus area 3 is basically to build market awareness and brand positioning through marketing, PR, and local event sponsorship. We're looking at having different kind of social media marketing, social media engagement, and PR that we are currently running across Africa, and of course sponsorship of different local events, especially some of these top events that we have available in Africa, like CryptoFest, It's Safari, Blockchain, and crypto conference in Nigeria, Africa Tech Summit. Some of these events we have sponsored them, and we have realized it has a lot of opportunities for us to tap in from. So with that, I think I can stop from here so that we have enough time for other people. Thank you.
Thank you, Aliu. And I wanted to ask if there is anyone from the LATAM DAO proposal who wants to take the space to chat about it. I know Mila told us that she had a family emergency 5 minutes before the call started. So I saw Cristobal joining the call, but I'm not sure if there's someone that is willing to chat about the proposal. If not, I think we can move on to let the team from the India DAO proposal to chat about their proposal and give more time to the LATAM folks.
Hey, hi. This is Monish here, and I'm from India. We have Chitty as well. So we have Celo India DAO proposal on the.
Yeah, hi, I'm Chitty.
Hi. Hi. Yes, actually, we have Chitty on the agenda from India DAO. Yes. Okay. I think you got it.
Thank you. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me, guys. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
From our team, Avina will present the presentation. He is having that presentation with her. She will present it now for India DAO.
Hi,
Avina,
everyone.
please.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Very nice to be here. I'm just going to present my screen. So I'm Avina. I'm presenting on behalf of our team in India for the proposal to have a regional DAO in India. India is a very, very complex country. It's the 6th largest economy in the world and the 2nd largest population. If you're from India, you can really feel the urgency and the interest to be more tech-driven and to be more developed. And it's been estimated that there are 120 million crypto users from India alone. I'm going to just get into why India needs Celo, who our team is, what our goals are, and a summary of our actions and our budget. As you can see, the size of India's market alone would be enough to attract our community and Celo's innovations. We are almost too aware of the regulatory restrictions that we face in India, but what's more important and what's more urgent is that there are so many gaps in India that need urgent solutions. Solutions that Celo's projects have already built. And we at the Celo India DAO just want to bridge this gap by establishing a really strong presence for Celo in India and offering our communities and the people we work with and individuals across India with a multitude of Celo's innovations. This is our team. Here we have Chitty, who's a Celo ambassador who has focused on educating rural communities across south of India about blockchain and about Celo, and with a focus on teaching women as well. Nikki, she has previously worked as a UX designer in Cresco, and so very well acquainted with the Celo ecosystem. We have Elio, who's the founder of Into the Verse, which is an NFT utility and impact-driven GameFi metaverse built on Celo. He also helps students understand blockchain and Celo and Celo's applications across central India, and he delivers hands-on coding sessions. Sean is the marketing and growth lead for Saw Pizza, a crypto to fiat off-ramp built from CeloCam. And I'm Avina. I lead impact measurement at Impact Market. As you can see, we're all very immersed in the Celo ecosystem, and we truly believe in its potential. We have all seen real-life use case of all of our protocols and all of our designs. Our goals in India go like this. For user and community growth, we are going to rely on strategic partnerships across the country. We've also included in our proposal a Celo India Advocates Program, which goes hand in hand with the Celo University Guild program, and additionally extends it to other networks. This will essentially include mentorships, college events, meetups across individual states and cities, roadshows taking place in each region. We also intend on providing centralized support to Celo advocates across India. The advocates, what they would do is essentially, and what we would do for this program is recruit advocates, take care of communications logistics, and provide branding items. And why we feel this is vital is because it will create and have a very enriched sense of community, and it'll support Celo's mission at large. We will also identify civil society organizations and collaborate with them to highlight Celo's ReFi mission with a focus on climate action and social impact. And finally, we will support Celo's existing and active projects in India by helping them reach communities and helping them foster partnerships within the Indian subcontinent. You can find more details about this in our proposal, which we've updated on the forum. For builder and development growth, we plan on supporting students and builders create new projects that come from a more localized knowledge database and from a more localized understanding. Our local Celo advocates will also aid the blockers that all of us face in our own protocols, which is of language barriers and working with bankless communities, amongst many. We also aim to include our developer education material in over 10 languages right from the start. If you know India, you'd know that that's one of the biggest issues in disseminating information. We also plan on researching the difficulties in payment systems, which is plenty, and try to reinforce the efficiencies of using transactions in Celo, and ideally trying to reach bankless communities and communities that are more on the outside of India that are often excluded. We will also encourage NGOs and fintech entities to assist them in reshaping their economies by using Celo and employing the use of Celo. Here is a very short summary and our budget, and more details of the budget are in the proposal in the forum, so you can find it there. And I'd just like to say that we are truly committed to trying to expand the use of Celo in India. We see the potential, and we hope our proposal reflects that, and we appreciate all the support we've had from the Celo team. You can find the proposal link in the chat. Hopefully my teammate will link you to that. And we hope to see your thoughts and comments on there and to spark some discussions. Thank you.
Hey guys, so there is another proposal that I wish to discuss over here for the Celo India DAO. Is there any right time to do it?
Monish, the next person that goes in line is the LATAM proposal. I believe Juan is going to present. So then I know you were not on the agenda, but perhaps you can have 2 minutes to present to give us an overview of your proposal right after Juan goes, if that's okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Juan. Go ahead.
Okay, so the LATAM DAO proposal was made by Mila. The amount Mila requests is like 1,100,000 worth of Celo, and the goal is to expand the community in Latam. The areas of focus are onboarding the community, the local onboarding, and he proposed that 5,000 per event. 5,000 per event. And if the success criteria is to have 720 participants, 10% of the participants downloading the contract kit, and 100% of new followers on social media. The social media of Latam is just starting, so we have to grow the social media in Latam. The other area is to attract emerging Web3 talent by focusing on local hackathons. So Mila proposed prices for hackathon around 50,000 for prices, and she proposed also venue, food, media promotion, administration, and the total for hackathon is like $300,000. The success metrics is to make around 3 hackathons, 150 hackathons participants per each one, and the criteria is to submit 3 submissions per hackathon. And the other area is like a venture builder. Mila proposed to create a Web3 venture builder to onboard the people that is in Web2. So this is like $200,000 for it, and the success criteria is to onboard 5 Web3 studio participants across the region, and 3 projects converted to Web3 project. The intention is to take projects from Web2 and convert into Web3. The focus area 4 is building market awareness and brand positioning. So we have a content creation, moderation, and influencers, promos, swags, and page, and the metrics is to have at least 2 Twitter space per week, 4 Instagram lives per week, to have 20 social posts in Instagram, TikTok, Twitter per week, and 2 community meetups per month. This is like the areas she want to work.
Juan, just a quick time check. We are getting short on time. I do want to give
okay,
Manish 2 minutes to present their proposal really quickly before we open for discussion.
Okay. Those are the goals. The transparency, the multi-sign is proposed to be composed by Alessandro Milagres, Cristóbal Pereira, Martina Mendoza, Gabriel Rimbenboy, Mila, and Santiago Mora. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. You go, Monish. You get 2 minutes.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everyone. Hey, hi. This is Monish here, and I'm a founder of Kalakendra DAO. So if you haven't heard of Kalakendra DAO, it's a DAO mission to onboard Web2 artists, developers, tech enthusiasts into Web3 space for social good. And we have been doing it for a year now, and we are actively participating, actively educating and onboarding a whole mass of Indians into the Web3 space. And we are a DAO. I'll share the DAO link over here as well. We have been doing it. We're a community-owned DAO. We have a community of people working for a group of people. So no one owns a product or a product or anything on our DAO. So it's a community-owned DAO. So we are building a product on Celo, a ticketing platform which is nfticket.io, which will be there soon. And we are also trying to help Eric with Celo Signal. So this is the overview of us, and we have a second proposal. actually it was with, it was talked with Chiti. I don't know what happened. There's my miscommunication happening. So sorry guys for this stuff. So I'll share you this our proposal. I'll proposal on the governance forum over on the chat to look over. So we've been doing this again, as I told you, we've been doing this. We are a non-profit and we're doing it for a social good, and that is how the Celo is mission to do that. And we are already on the same aligned with the mission. And thank you, Avina, for the context over why do we need to have this. The India, the regional DAOs in India, and I really appreciate you taking over that as well. Our major idea and the focus is we have been doing it, and we have talked with different people. We have conducted different seminars. We have held a different conference. We have held different hackathons. We now structured of a DAOs of DAOs, which is a meta DAO kind of structure. And as you all know, we have more than 26 plus states plus and union territories back in India to have a grassroots approach in India to further decentralize and educate the communities of India through Celo. We wanted to have this meta DAO structure. So probably we are gonna focus on having each individual DAOs for individual states of the country, India. So probably everyone could vote on to a major proposal that will be on the Celo India DAO. So that is the whole idea of the meta DAO that we are trying to propose, and it is quite success that we've been doing it for a year now. We have a Kalakendra gaming DAO and we have a Kalakendra DAO. So again, everything goes for social good. So that is what we have with the Celo India second proposals. And we have, in terms of the mandate and the focus area, we are focusing for onboarding, educating, and building. As you all know, onboarding and educating will be the prime focus of our existing DAO, and we continue to do that for the Celo DAO as well, Celo India DAO as well. And the building would be the new thing that I really iterate. After researching a lot, talking to a lot of Web3 enthusiasts and leaders, community among leaders, we understood that it is very essential to have a incubation center back in India. So we are trying to iterate that as well in India. So we have this structured over, and all those details are in the proposal. We are inviting everyone to look over the proposal and understand how it is going so far. And the primary area on decentralization is to have the grassroots approaches, the meta DAO structure that we are trying to propose, and we are also building the same sort of DApp for the Celo as well to enrich and support our the mission. So that will be up soon as well. So this is our DAO. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Anna. We are expertise over different areas. We have a team. We have a team of 20 right now on-chain members on the DAO right now operating. So which is skilled over in Solidity, Rust, Substrate, JavaScript, and front end, back end. So and community management, community strategies. So I think we could pull off this proposal well enough in India as well. Thank you, Daniel, for the wonderful time, and Anna. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish, for your intervention. And I think that now it's time to open the floor for questions. So remember, if you have a question, please raise your hand. I will give you your turn to talk. And I know Anna wanted to get us started with a question, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to set a little bit of context. This is so amazing to see so much energy and so much conversation around regional DAOs. A little bit of context for why we chose this topic in general and why this really matters is, over a year ago, we only really had, the foundation was created now about a year and a half ago. And at the time, we only had the foundation bootstrapping ecosystem development through grants and through strategic investments. And then there was one community fund that was doing some of the community development work. And then over the year, we've had several proposals go on-chain and receive funds to develop ecosystem according to their own independent thinking, their own sources of funds, and their own independent process for how they distribute those funds. And those groups are now presented. Those groups include Ocelot, include Climate Collective. And so all of those are independent organizations that are growing and benefiting the Celo ecosystem at large. And this is what we are really excited about, what we hope will happen, or kind of like what I see as the future of decentralization and decentralized ecosystem building in the Celo community, is that these entities will go up for governance, and if they receive funding to their multi-sig, then they will create their own process. They will have autonomy and agency over how to spend these funds, and ultimately DAOs really empower local people who know best to how to allocate funds with efficient and really great resource allocation and localized decision making. So that's kind of the context that we set for these. The first 3 regions that have proposed on the forum are LATAM, Africa, and India, but I think there can be more regions that propose proposals in the future. We're looking forward to potentially APAC being next, and Europe, and I know Meltem has been working on another proposal as well. So with that context, I want to invite everyone who has questions or any discussion points or wants to ask questions directly to some of the leaders of the proposals, because today we wanted this to be like a presentation to the whole community, but then next week there's a governance call which is mandatory before a proposal goes up for a vote. So these teams will also be presenting in the governance call, and today is kind of the first time where people can have feedback that the teams will then incorporate before they go on to present to a governance call. And with that, we can open the queue. Daniel, if you want to go ahead and start managing it. I know we had some hands up.
We don't have any hands up, so let me know if you guys have a question. So I have Suleiman now. Suleiman, I have seen your hand raised for a while. Okay, you can go ask your question.
Hello, Daniel. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Suleiman. I'm engaging you guys from Kenya, and I heard about Celo online. I'm a university student leader. Previously I've seen a lot of cryptos in the crypto space, but I don't know who is in charge. I don't know how you guys pick those ones that are in charge of these countries, and I don't know how effective they are, because apparently I'm being told there is somebody by the name Kimotho that is in charge of our country, Kenya, but I haven't seen any single project in our country. So I'm wondering, where are these proposals and all these things coming from if we don't have anything that unites us as a community in a particular country? So I would really want to seek clarification on that first question: which methodology is used to pick these people? Then, is there any current project that is ongoing in Kenya? Then the last question that I wanted also to ask is what is the future prospect of Celo, and what are we planning to do as you guys? What are you guys planning to do in order to expand your market capacity? Additionally, I run a cryptocurrency marketing company by the name Sulegen Consultant Limited. We do marketing for crypto, and I would really wish to be part of this and to take Celo to a bigger and greater heights in future. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I think, Aliou, you are the best person to answer the first part of the question in terms of kind of like current representation in Africa and the work you guys are planning. I know Daniel Kimotho, he was here for half of the call.
I think Daniel is here. Is Daniel here? I think Daniel is here, right? Okay.
If not, you can. Yeah, go ahead.
I can go forward as well. Yeah. So of course, we have very active ecosystem in Kenya. In fact, I'm really surprised, to hear that you have not heard about Celo, because perhaps maybe it's just because of some location. I know some of the African countries can be quite big. I understand that, but there are very, very active ecosystem in Kenya, and we have run different kind of pilots across different value proposition in Kenya as well. In fact, we have a 16 ecosystem that we run, about, I think, weekly developers workshop in Kenya, and of course monthly university event as well. So this depends on maybe where you are located. Of course, I think it would be great for you to just connect with Daniel and see some ways you can also plug in some of our value proposition.
And then I see there is a question by Joel here on the chat. He's asking, what criteria did you consider for choosing the members of the multi-sig signature? And I believe that's a great question for those representing the proposals. So Aliu, you can answer that, and then I will ask someone from.
Yes, I think I can go first on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. For us, right from beginning, community inclusive is like the key focus. We wanted to make sure that people that are going to be part of the multi-sig orders are people that are very active, people that are that are literally just talking crypto, eating crypto, and of course blockchain is just like everything about them, right? For example, Chuta is here, like it's like maybe like the biggest person in terms of crypto when it comes to West Africa, right? So everyone knows him. And in terms of reputation as well, because we understand that reputation is very key when it comes to crypto adoption as well. So this is something we considered. Noah, for example, has been part of the Celo ecosystem since 2019. He was one of our his team is they are like one of our grants recipients. I think with one recipient way back in 2019. So we decided to like use people that bring in people that have these footprints, bigger footprint within the ecosystem already, and people that we can easily leverage on their 16 network, and of course their reputation within the ecosystem as well.
Thank you, Liu. And then Juan, you said you are willing to answer the same question, so please go ahead.
Hi. Okay. I think the criteria Mila takes, because it's not my proposal, but I think the criteria Mila takes for the multi-sign person is that people that is I don't know how to say it, but it's like people that helps Celo ecosystem to grow. So I know, for example, Cristobal Pereira made the blockchain summit Latam in Panama, and he is always trying to help Celo. He made a lot of courses with the blockchain summit academy. So he is a good person to have in the multi-sign. Mila, that is the lead of the ecosystem of Latam. So he has to be in the multi-sign. Santiago Mora is a guy from Bogota that I know Santiago, and Santiago is trying to make like an exchange. And this is one of the exchange that is going to support the CCOP proposal, for example. So he's helping to grow the ecosystem in Colombia. The other three people, I don't know the people, or maybe don't remember. Maybe I know them, no, don't remember at the moment. But I think they are people that in their countries they help to grow the ecosystem. So it's the people that can can see for the correct using of the funds. I think that was the criteria that Mila used to select the people. But
thank you, Juan. Thank you. And I see a hand raised by Rahul. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Rahul, and I was just listening to you guys about the India DAO. So I had a couple of questions for you. I mean, in India, I actually met with Harpal. He's the DevRel of Celo in India. We met at the Goa conference, and I'm from central part of India. I'm from city of Bhopal, and I think most likely Elio would be somewhere around here taking workshop. I was talking with someone who was thinking of having. Yeah, Harpal is awesome. Yes, I met him, and so I wanted to ask 2-3 things from you guys. Like, how are you planning to proceed with the India DAO? For example, let me be more precise with the questions. For example, I'm a developer right now, so I'm learning development, mostly Web 2 technologies, and you guys have partnership with Learn Web 3 DAO, right? So I was studying the Celo track from there, and kind of know, what the Celo is trying to accomplish as the ecosystem. So how do you get like these people? Like, you're trying to expand in India and trying to teach more people about Celo. So how are you guys going to, like, for example, let's say community roles or local DevRel roles? How are you going to hire these guys for promoting the Celo ecosystem, for teaching, for example, uh, something like this? Like, how are you planning this? Because I am thinking, like, are you guys going to go the traditional way of going to colleges, or would you held your own workshops and kind of have people come there and teach on this topic? Yeah.
Thank you, Rahul. I think that that's a great question for the two India DAO proposals. So Monish and Chiti, or someone from the team, please try to answer the question.
Hey.
Yeah, we are planning to go for colleges. That is easy for the students. If we go for college, we can meet so many students, like 100 to 200 students like that. If we arrange a workshop or some other thing, few students will come, because of they don't have time to come like that. Few students will come. If we go for college, it will be useful for the students, and we will get more exposure. The faculty members also showing interest on learning Web3 like things and social cause like things. So we going for college and taking training program is good in my point of view.
May I answer this quickly? Sorry, Elio. Really quickly.
Yeah, go Monish, and then Elio, you can go.
Okay, thank you. So I would prefer the workshop. Actually, as I already mentioned, we've been doing this our DAO for a year now, which is for social good. So if you are really interested, we are incentivizing you to learn Web3 and web developing from our DAO, irrespective of any chain that you want to do. You can come join us and be an on-chain member on our DAO, and quite do hacking and build a community-owned DApps on any chains that you wish to do. And in terms of Celo DAO, that proposal that you initiated, my suggestion would go with workshops. To be honest, I've already sorry. To be honest, I've done a lot of sponsorship for the hackathons for the colleges around India. We have recently been to Chennai. We have recently been to Mangalore, Coimbatore. So we found that the interest towards the people grasping towards the Web3 is quite low in colleges. But when you see these kind of workshops or technical events, technical meetups, probably we are having another technical meetup happening in Chennai on Sunday. If you wanted to travel, I could help you on that as well. So if you're trying to do that, it's really awesome, and that really grabs the interest towards the people in developing, also moving into the Web3 and other areas. So I prefer workshop, but it's essential to be part of college program. But I think the way onboarding more people and educating them in underlying the social costs, that would be the workshops and the technical events that we possess in the local regions.
Thank you, Monish.
Thank you, and
go
Elio.
Elio.
Thank you.
Yeah, adding to what Monish said, a few days ago, we in the forum, we talked about a Celo Advocates program, wherein we have a network of young people, like students mostly, who are based in major regions of India, and we even have highlighted it in the updated proposal. So we want to recruit a network of advocates who would be responsible for this region, since India is a large country. And yeah, at the helm, the stewards of the DAO would be responsible for all the logistics that they require, and for all the agendas for these particular meetups. And we expect to hold at least 3 to 5 meetups per year in those particular regions. So I think this is the optimal way. So these meetups will also include workshops. It can also include hands-on coding as well. It would be impossible for one person to go from one place to another, like close to impossible. So it's good to have a network of advocates and someone supervising them on top. So this is like what we proposed, and also like I've had some positive experiences with the same kind of thing in the Chainlink community as well, which is already like working in India, and it has quite been beneficial so far.
Thank you, Elio. And should time flew, we are at time, and I'm sorry. I know we needed to perhaps we didn't account for this much conversations, so this many questions. So perhaps for the next iteration of Kuneco, we do probably need to make it longer. Yes, I know people cannot stay for longer than the hour we already scheduled, but the next one I will schedule it for a longer time. I'm so sorry. So if you still have questions, you can find in the agenda for the call, you can find the proposals that we discussed today as they are posted on the forum. As you saw from Aliyu, they're probably going to post the new iteration of their proposal on the forum as well. So please bring these questions to them on the forum and continue a conversation on the forum. The next Kuneco call is on December 16th. Probably about a different topic, but I know a governance call is coming up soon. So Anna, I know you have some intel on what's going on in that next governance call that is relevant to this conversation. So please let us know. But with that, I just want to say thank you all for your participation and attention.
Yes, thank you, everyone. The next governance call is next Thursday. So if you are interested and want to participate in how these proposals evolve, please come and bring your questions. The proposals, again, will be presenting there before they officially submit these for governance. So cheers, everyone. Thank you all for joining. And it was really nice to experiment, and we'll take a lot of learnings. And if you have feedback on the future formats of Kuneco, please let us know. We've already learned so many lessons from doing it in this format today that we'll take for future and implement it for the next Kuneco call. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And happy Friday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, happy Friday and have a good weekend. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.